By the spring of 1776, scores of American communities were calling for separation from Great Britain. On July 2nd, the Second Continental Congress formally declared the 13 colonies to be an independent nation, the United States of America. 2 days later, it approved the Declaration of Independence. The main writer of the Declaration of Independence was Thomas Jefferson, who was assisted in this endeavor by John Adams and Benjamin Franklin. At first, Jefferson did not want to write the Declaration, preferring that Adams write it. Later, John Adams recalled the following conversation with Jefferson over the responsibility. "I will not," Adams said. "You should do it," Jefferson said. "Oh, no," said Adams. "Why will you not? You ought to do it," said Jefferson. "I will not," said Adams. "Why?" said Jefferson. "Reasons enough," said Adams. "Well, what can be your reasons?" said Jefferson. "Reason first, you are a Virginian, and a Virginian ought to appear at the head of this business. Reason second, I am obnoxious, suspected, and unpopular. You are very much otherwise. Reason third, Jefferson, you can write 10 times better than I can." "Well, if you are decided, I will do as well as I can," said Jefferson. "Very well. When you have drawn it up, we will have a meeting," said Adams. For his part, Jefferson was both poetic and practical in writing the Declaration of Independence. He created sympathy for the larger cause while condemning Great Britain in compelling terms. According to Jefferson, the purpose of the Declaration was, quote, not to find out new principles or new arguments never before thought of, but to place before mankind the common sense of the subject in terms so plain and firm as to command their assent and to justify ourselves in the independent stand we were compelled to take. The Declaration of Independence, the document itself, consists mostly of grievances against King George III, including quartering troops in colonial homes, imposing taxes without colonists' consent, and Parliament's goal of establishing absolute tyranny over the colonies. The clause blaming King George III for slavery was taken out at the insistence of South Carolina and Georgia. Jefferson argued that the colonies were not the aggressor and that all yet was not lost. Americans, Jefferson said, mean not in any wise to effect that union with Great Britain, in which we have so long and so happily lived, and to which we so much see again restored. The impact of the Declaration comes from its preamble. Quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." By the phrase inalienable rights, Jefferson meant rights so basic, so rooted in human nature itself, that no government can take them away. These ideas come straight from the philosophy of John Locke. Jefferson justified the break with Great Britain on the idea that a government derives its powers from the, quote, consent of the governed. Thus, the Declaration of Independence is merely an assertion of the right of revolution. Its purpose was to justify rebellion. In the eyes of Great Britain, in the eyes of Parliament, in the eyes of King George III, the Declaration of Independence is a treasonous document. The signers of the Declaration knew that they would hang if they were caught. At the time, Benjamin Franklin said, quote, "Either we all hang together, or we will surely hang separately." When the British invaded Virginia in 1780, they brought handcuffs with them, hoping to arrest the governor of Virginia and the author of the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson, when facing the British, ran. The significance of the Declaration of Independence is that it has remained an inspiration to generations of Americans who were denied the enjoyment of their natural rights, as well as colonial peoples throughout the world seeking independence and self-government. President Abraham Lincoln quoted the Declaration of Independence in the Gettysburg Address. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. quoted the Declaration in speeches that he made supporting the Civil Rights Movement. Ho Chi Minh used the Declaration of Independence as a model to write the Vietnamese Declaration of Independence in 1945. For much of the 18th century, the western frontier of British North America was a flashpoint of imperial rivalries among European nations. The Ohio River Valley was caught up in a complex struggle for power involving the French, the British, rival Native American communities, settlers, and land companies. All were pursuing their own interests. The first true world war, the French and Indian War, reshaped the world's balance of power. After the war, everyone expected Great Britain to take the lead. At no other time was an English colonist more proud to be British. However, taxes and the desire for land splintered the relationship between the American colonies and Great Britain. As Parliament paid more attention to the daily welfare of the colonies, the less the colonies wanted to do with Great Britain. By July 1776, the crisis had deepened to the point that an attempt at independence was inevitable. Thank you for watching, and may the force be with you.